Pagdating dun sa level ng hearings 'no, diyan sa House Justice Committee, kasi medyo maraming nabitin din, na dun sa pagdinig ng House Committee on Good Government last year when it comes to the, confidential funds issue. May mga nag-iintay nung bakit hindi pinatawag si Colonel Chica if I'm not mistaken, 'di ba? Yung mga ganyang personalidad ba, can they be compelled to appear during the hearings sa impeachment sa level ng Justice Committee eventually?
I think lahat po ng mga napangalanan dapat ho maimbitahan. No? So,
Hmm.
all of them will be subpoenaed. All of the documents that had been used as annexes there can be subpoenaed. All of additional information that will be raised during the course of the proceedings can be subpoenaed. All new persons that might be named can be subpoenaed. So, talagang ano ho yun? Meron po nga full powers po yung House Committee on Justice during hearing proper para gawin po ang
Hmm.
lahat.
And of course, the Vice President also be accorded the right to defend herself, to controvert those allegations, hindi ba?
O naman ho. So kaya nga ho, to date, I think they've received the notice no to answer within the period of 10 days from the seat. Kasama ho yun dun sa mga due process rights no ng ating po nga pangalawang Pangulo. And she will be afforded the opportunity to also sit and speak no before the committee to defend herself. Pero syempre, we will also respect her right to not attend all of these proceedings.
Mm. Pero basically, magkakaroon na ng preview yung public dito sa mga ebidensyang ilalabas kontra sa Vice Presidente at yung magiging tugon ng Vice Presidente, even if hindi pa umaabot to sa level ng Senate impeachment trial, hindi ba? Kumbaga makikita na.
Tama ko yun. So for example, yung pong mga notices of disallowances no, na pinag-uusapan po, pwede kong masabpinin yung COA, auditors po, dyan sa bagay po na yan. At syempre, pagpapaliwanagin yung sila, yung batayan ng notices of disallowance. No? And syempre, pagpapaliwanagin ba sila, kung may nagsasabi kasi na prejudicial question daw, yung pong NDs, no? Bago tayo mag-usap sa impeachment. And I'm quite certain ang
Oo.
sagot doon, clearly na pwede yung tumakbo independently and separately yung pong impeachment proceedings habang tumatakbo at appealable pa yung pong mga notices of disallowance. Kasi ang mahalaga naman po dito sa impeachment at kahit sa COA, yung pong body of evidence and body of documentation na hawak po ng parehong mga kapulungan.
Pero eventually kakausapin din yun dyan ng COA, no? Para, kasi yan ang isa sa mga nakalilito sa maraming kababayan natin eh. And that can also provide an opening for those who want to twist the narrative. Ano ba yung notice of disallowances? Ano ba yung proseso sa COA? Diba? Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng ganito, ganyan? So mapapag-usapan yan pa rin ng hearing muli.
Napag-usapan din yan in passing nitong nakaraan, no? At nagsagutan naman po yung mga kinatawan for and against, no? Doon po sa sinasabi nga nila na appealable pa po yung ND. At ang sinasabi natin doon na sure, appealable yung ND, pero pwede pa rin ho tayo magtuloy. Kasi we are talking about the same documentations anyway, and we're talking about different results. No? Kasi yung results, for example, ng COA and ND, pinapasoli ho yung pera. Pero yung pong results ng impeachment, removal po ng isang impeachable official. So basically, pwede yung tumakbo na magkahiwalay, hindi ho natin yung kailangan pagbanggain.
Yung pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente sa buhay ng Pangulo, First Lady at dating House Speaker, how strong is that allegation? Napanood ng marami yan eh.
Mabigat ho yan kasi hindi ho kailangan masyado ng mga witnesses po sa bagay na yan kasi ito sa press conference, it was for everyone to see. No? So siyempre, meron pong defenses po yung Vice President dyan and yung mga supporters po niya na hindi, conditional lang naman yan. So she should be killed first bago ho daw implement yung sinasabi niya na nag-contract siya ng hitman. Pero alam po ninyo, hindi lang naman isa yung threat po ng Vice President against the President. No? Meron din po doon, and I think it was stated in the complaints as well, and it was flashed during the proceedings. Meron ho doon yung sinasabi ho niya na parang gusto niyang pugutan ng ulo po yung Pangulo ho natin. So, by any measure, that particular statement, hindi ho yun conditional. Kasi talaga intimation po talaga yon ng kanyang kagustuhan na pugutan, basically patayin ang ating pong Pangulo. No? So, I can concede na, sure, sige, conditional yung isa, Pero itong pangalawang statement po na ito, hindi po yun talaga conditional. It was a direct threat against the president. But again, going back to the discussion, so, ang paliwanag po ni Congresswoman na Janice Digamo, alam po ninyo, mabigat po yun eh. Kasi ang sinasabi niya, the killing of her husband, Governor Digamo, started as conditional threats, no? And then it became actual threats. And then it resulted into the killing of the husband, no? So, kumbaga, hindi ko talaga dapat palagpasin yung po ganito pong mga pagbabanta. However way they would want to portray it, whether as a conditional threat or hindi naman daw seryoso yung po ganito pong pagbabanta.
Sa akin naman, Congressman, no, parang medyo taliwas yung appreciate ko doon sa threats na yun. Napanood ko rin yung sinabi yung parang gusto niyang pugutan. Ang sa akin parang dating naman parang that was more of metaphorical. At least sa akin, no, yung dating sa akin. Ang mas seryoso ay yung nakasalampak siya sa sahig, nag-press ko na madaling araw online, tapos nagbanta nga at kumontak na raw siya ng mga papatay at pumayag daw ito kung sakali may mangyari sa kanya at sabi niya, no joke. No joke. Kasi hindi naman ordinaryong Pilipino o tao yung nagbigay ng threat na yun eh. Vice Presidente and she actually has the wherewithal to have that executed or to set that into motion, hindi ba?
Hindi. Pag-usapan na lang natin yung range ng pong mga persons involved in threats. No? So, dun sa kaso po ni asawa po ni Congresswoman Digamo, yung pong involved po doon, actual, accused po ngayon na pinatay po yung governor, yung asawa po niya, congressman yun. Congressman Arnie Teves yun. So, high-level official rule. Sabihin, meron siyang kakayanan gawin yun. No? Yung pong conditional threats po yun. Di ba? And sino yung mas mataas sa lahat sa kanila? Siyempre yung dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. He's being tried today in the International Criminal Court at yan yung isa sa mga central debates, di ba? Where the threats being made by the president every time against drug addicts, did it constitute as an order to law enforcement to actually kill drug addicts? No? Or was it basically just hyperbole or jokes? Di ba? So, kumbaga, ito po yung range ng mga matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno na sa totoo lang, may pwede ho talaga actual na mangyari. Pagka ho merong mga threats na ginagawa, whether it's an unconditional threat or whether it's basically a conditional threat. So, I think dapat yun po yung konteksto na tingnan mo natin. Kumbaga, pag mataas ka opisyal ng gobyerno, dapat hindi mo talaga ginagawa yung ganito pong pagbabanta laban sa mga tao.
Speaking of threats, no, Kong Terry, naisip ko lang, hindi ka ba medyo worried na kung sakaling malusutan ni Sara Duterte itong impeachment at manalo siya sa pagkapangulo sa 2028, isa ka sa mga una niyang babalikan?
Well, ano po ninyo, ano naman ho yan? Kasama naman ho sa trabaho po natin yan. Hindi ba? This is a mandate that is asked of us to undertake. No? So, kumbaga, whatever feelings you have, na actually, yan ho yung sinasabi ng mga supporters ngayon na by 2028, lahat ng mga sangkot dito sa impeachment proceedings na ito, bantay kayo. Pero, alam po ninyo, kung yan ho talaga yung tadhana, hindi ba? For doing your duty, yan ho talaga yung kakasapitan ho natin. So, ganun ho talaga yun.
Kitang-kita natin online, no? Ang dami rang nananakot eh. Pero ito, no? Yung pagdeklara ng Vice Presidente, natatakbo siya sa pagkapangulo before these proceedings. Sa tingin mo may epekto yan doon sa posibleng appreciation ng mga kongresista doon sa reklamo laban sa kanya? And what do you think of that intention? What do you think was the intention most likely by the Vice President in making that declaration?
Well, I don't want to get into her intentions, no? I will take it as
Okay, what do you think of that, no? The fact that she said that before the proceedings.
Hindi. Basta yung declaration lang po ng Vice President, tingin ko naman, ano po yan, no? We will respect her wish, no, to become president by 2028. No? Pero I think we had seen the vote yesterday. It was a 54-1 vote. No? So, ibig sabihin, if congressmen were actually fearful of the future or for their political future relating to whether the Vice President will become president in 2028, tingin ko hindi yun masyadong nag-figure into the equation yesterday. Tingin ko dapat mas mababa yung pong boto na nakuha po for substantiality. Kasi nga, like what I previously stated, 54 votes po ito. Ibig sabihin, kulang na lang ho ang Kongreso ng 52 votes for the impeachment to proceed to the Senate. Assuming na tatawid po yung 54 votes to plenary. And I'm quite certain, tatawid po yun. Kasi nga, if you were convinced yesterday, I think you should be convinced up until the very end. Hindi ba?
But you're convinced na tatawid yan into an actual impeachment trial?
Pero, tingin ko, yung pong 54, yun po yung more or less baseline na kasi they made their votes noon yesterday. Hindi ba? So, ang kailangan na lang ho talaga ng Kongreso to proceed to trial would be just 52 additional congresspersons, no? To send it to the Senate for trial. So, it's not as insurmountable as people actually thought. Hindi ba? So, even assuming, for example, that no one in Mindanao will actually support it because, syempre, there are, there is a Mindanao concern relating to the matter. Even if, for example, big chunks do not vote for the impeachment or like a major party does not participate in the impeachment, tingin ko meron pa rin hong a significant number na maaabot. Maabot pa rin ho yung maybe around 160. Pero yung 106 na minimum votes, tingin ko madali na lang habulin yun. Kasi like what I stated, 52 votes na lang po yung kulang.
Pero definitely hindi yan kasing rami nung bilang ng mga sumuporta sa impeachment niya last year.
Siyempre, we will see kung ganun pa rin ho kalaki. Parang last year naman po, it was 215 who actually voted. Ang sinasabi nila, it was as high as 260 who basically supported it pero hindi ho nakapirma. Pero hindi naman ho mahalaga kung gaano kalaki. Sa totoo lang, pagka hawak mo po yung 106, that is basically sufficient to bring it to the Senate.